one thing was for sure. They both believed Sparks to be a total tool.
Be an exciting contest which shows that divorced couples can still have fun together, right?
Mythological hero H-list. C. On the spot dice spin.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another review here on Game Show Garbage on YouTube. I am Cyndi Seidelman, and joining me today is a very special guest. He hosts the Night Night podcast on good old Twitch. I present to you Jordan Haas.
Hey, Cyndi, thanks for having me.
Nice to have you here, too. It's been a while since we did something like this.
Yeah, with all sorts of old podcasts, old streams, all sorts of fun stuff.
Oh, yes. And now we're here together to talk about a nice little show called TKO. A 1989 pilot hosted...
No, it's not Peter Markin. I'm sorry.
No, it's not TKO from 1989 with Mark Goodson in the intro with a really kick-ass theme. It's... Oh, I'm sorry, I got confused. It's the 2018 Summer Series by CBS, proving once again that CBS might actually win the Winnie Award 3 years in a row.
It's TKO, Total Knockout.
Right, and by the way, I made a mistake. It's 3 out of 4 years.
Really?
Because it won with the college rivalry shows on Price is Right in 2015.
Oh, that's right.
2015, 2016. And Save to Win won it last year. And Candy Crush is looking to be a clubhouse favorite to win it this year.
And that's the big debate. Is this better than Candy Crush?
No.
I would say Candy Crush is better.
Yeah.
Because at least there's strategy involved with Candy Crush. You know, with what game you play, you go vertical or horizontal. You have a choice of 2 options. TKO is just, don't fall in the water, I guess.
Or fall in the ball pit.
Don't fall on the pads, the American Gladiators crash pads.
Or the foam. Was it foam?
It was, first is the crash pad.
Yep.
Second is, I believe,
the ball pit.
The ball pit, because as it progresses, it's slower and slower. Because intentionally, it's supposed to throw you off. Because remember, fastest wins.
Yep. The third one is like blocks, and the fourth is water.
Yeah. Which I would say, why not make the ball pit the last one? Because water you can easily swim in.
Yeah, but by that time you're already exhausted, so it's a wash.
I guess.
And by the way, this is the least of the show's problems, folks.
And it's a kooky... Do you want to explain the rules first about this great game show called TKO, Total Knockout?
Yeah, sure, why not? 5 contestants have to run through a crazy obstacle course in order to reach the end of the course the fastest. Whoever is the fastest wins $50,000, and if their time's good enough, they go to the $100,000 Championship Battle Royale.
Which is not 100 people on an island throwing dodgeballs at each other with the last one standing getting $100,000. It's not that. It's the same course. It's the same course.
Mm-hmm. And now you know why Wipeout never did a Tournament of Champions.
They did in the last season of Wipeout. The winners of Wipeout went on to do the final season where it was a Tournament of Champions to win, I think, $100,000. And that was the closing season. And as it turns out, maybe Tournament of Champions on a physical challenge-based game show just aren't a right idea.
Unless it's American Gladiators.
But you have to forget the caveat, too, Cyndi.
What's the caveat?
See, if you win TKO the first time around, you get $50,000. But if you don't win, or you're the second slowest, you can get $5,000.
Yeah.
And then for third place, $2,500.
And
or fourth place,
and fifth place gets a. I went on TKO and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
Well, they don't even show that. They say $0.
I know, I'm just trying to make a joke to be funny, and I gotta find something funny about this, because...
There's nothing... Okay, there's nothing funny about this show. I like Kevin Hart. I'll go out of my way and say Kevin Hart is funny. Kevin Hart is on the A-list celebrity status at this point, with all the comedies and all of the things. He does not need to be in this at all.
Except he's executive producing it.
Well, that's the only way to get the money on the game. If you're an EP, you get the money.
Of course.
So
Kevin Hart, to me, ruins the show.
well, obviously. Here's where my coming from. Usually when they get a comedian to host a game show, it stems into usually what is their realm of comedy. For instance, Steve Harvey does dating advice, life advice, family. So it's like, okay, Family Feud. The questions are relationship-based now and sex.
Right.
With something like Wayne Brady, it's improv now. They're working off his improv. What the hell does Kevin Hart get to do on this show? He can't do anything. Someone falls into the water.
Ah! Ah!
There's no writers on standby to do the Wipeout. Oh, it's back to school for the teacher or any of that. He gets nothing. He gets nothing. So even if you want like a Kevin Hart joke fest, he can't even provide any comedy except for, man, that hammerhead gave him a bad headache. Because the big hammer swings and whacks someone into the water or the foam pit or...
Yeah, and that's something you get off the first edition of the Complete Hacks Guide to Hacky Joke Writing for Complete Hacks. Forward by, God, I lost the joke. Dane Cook.
There you go. So, the full rules are one contestant goes through the course. There are 4 zones. And in each of these zones is a quote-unquote battle station held by the other 4 contestants, because there's 5 in an episode.
Right. I'll discuss the battle station. You discuss what they have to do.
All right. So in the first one, the first obstacle of the TKO is basically kind of like almost like an American Ninja Warrior hang course where they're leaning against a plexiglass wall. And they have to basically almost like a cliffhanger style move, scooch as they move their way to the end. If they fall into, I believe it's a crash pad, that's considered a knockout, and they must go back to the start and do it again. But if they fail in a second time, that's called a TKO, and we must advance to the second obstacle and have a 1-minute penalty.
And the problem with that is this show doesn't even know what a TKO means. A TKO is when you get knocked down 3 times, not twice.
And the battle station is weird. Okay, and I think in the second part of the course...
Oh, wait, I didn't say the battle station.
Oh, yeah, the battle station on that stage.
You remember Assault from American Gladiators and how cool it would be to man that gun?
That is my favorite American Gladiators thing. That's the one thing I would love to do, even more than the hamster ball.
Really? Even more than Atmosphere?
Yeah, I mean, because I think if you get bumped by the Atmosphere ball, you would get bumped into the metal.
Yeah, true.
This is at least I get hit by a tennis ball, so okay.
Right, but this one you get dodgeballs. Plowing at around 40 to 50 feet. And headshots are allowed, and what I don't like about the show, and getting hit with the head with the dodgeball, is, the helmets that they wear?
Oh, you mean those classic BMX bike helmets that have no face protection at all?
Exactly. You could at least get some hockey gear helmet on. At least do a hockey helmet.
No, it's safe. It's fun. It's fun because you see they're whacking the ball, and then they're going to get hit, and they're like, ow, my leg, and then they're going to slip up and fall into the crash pad, and that's your show for 45 minutes.
And then Kevin Hart goes, oh my God, it's a knockout.
Oh, that's a knockout.
Hey, DKO.
Not because it's a knockout, the popular UK slapstick show, it makes me long for those.
Yeah.
Then in stage 2, I think I'm getting this right, is a balance beam where it's curved, and then there's like a little dangly, like almost like on Takeshi's Castle MXC, that rickety bridge.
Yeah.
And then they gotta go through the other side of another curved, narrow bridge, but there's a big metal ball on the side, so it's a little bit harder when you get to the end.
Yep. And for the battle station, I get to throw really big discs at you. It's like
Just like
tossing pizzas.
Giant pizza frisbees, or you remember like back in like the 90s, like when you had those TMNT toys, it's like, oh, it's real frisbee throwing action, and it's like the shooting disc. It's kind of like one of those. Complete with some really bad like sound effects. Like I don't even think they make the sound effects when they throw it, because it's like pew pew.
No, they never did. It's more like.
And then when it hits, you get that noise. Oh,
Yeah.
we got it!
I hate. If you're playing a show for laughs like Wipeout, you can do that. You can get away with that. But TKO presents itself seriously.
It's in the weird step where it's trying to be funny like Wipeout, because they're really trying to play off the slapstick of people getting hit in the face with objects and then falling into water. But they give these people the sob stories and the let's care and root for the people, that it becomes serious. The set itself is that dark set, that generic dark set that you see in every primetime game show, where it's just an LED board and the strobe light, and then like, it's TKO!
Hate that.
And stage 3.
Yes.
Just like on American Ninja Warrior, because once again we need to take stuff from American Ninja Warrior. Those little hopper balance things where you have to hop from one little bouncy thing to another, and you lose your balance on them because it's the little platform. Pretty much on this show, no one was able to even make it through the second one, so we can only assume either people don't have good balance, or that no one really tested the obstacle complete with the battle station.
No, I think the last contestant did it. Didn't she do it?
I think no, she did the claw. She did like the claw one, and then claw weight kneel, like both knees on the first obstacle, her arms on the second hurdle. Then I'm going to stand up and leapfrog, elbow, elbow, knee, knee, elbow, elbow, knee, knee. And that also apparently broke the system because of the battle station was meant to be when you're standing up.
Right, because in this battle station, you get to launch a limited amount of spike balls at your opponent. And that's just what we need in this type of show. Spike balls. Like, I need a reminder of Knights and Warriors.
I really love tower defense games. Can we just have our own version of that? Would that be nice?
Didn't we have a game show like that for kids like Splat-A-Lot?
They sure did. If only they would learn from their mistakes.
Yeah. But overall, Splat-A-Lot wasn't bad. It was okay for kids.
Oh, it's okay, because the fourth stage takes something exactly from Splat-A-Lot, complete with the name on the Splat-A-Lot show, The Grinder.
Oh, God.
Where there's 2 rotating barrels. Now, one rotates clockwise, one counterclockwise, but they're not even parallel, so you have to walk across a shaky bridge while there's, like, fake foam metal spikes on the side. And here's the only lifeline you can have on the show. On the second barrel is a 90-second, I forgot what they call it, like the time clock or something?
Time capsule.
The time capsule. If you grab it, 90 seconds can be deducted from your score. Now, I just want to remind you, if you fall off while it happens, you have to go back and swim all the way to the beginning of the stage. So you'll be back on the grinder a second time. And then if you fall again, you get a minute penalty, and then you have to swim your way up to the top and hit the final buzzer.
Right, and for the battle station, I get to hit you with a hammer.
It's
subtle.
You have to first. The person has to whack a hammer like a whack-a-mole on the button, and then the button hits the hammer to knock the person off.
That makes no sense.
Because these are oversized hammers. They hit them
For comedy purposes.
And it's not even like a real swing. It's kind of like the hammer kind of goes right in the halfway point of the barrel. So you obviously lose your balance because this wall is in your way now.
Yep. That's exactly what happens. And overall, the course is okay, I guess.
It's a course. But this is a show that's supposed to stretch out 12 minutes per person, pretty much. If you go 5 minutes, like 5 people plus commercials. So we're looking at 8 minutes per person, more or less. Complete with here's your fun backstory. You're the cool teacher. You're the hard-working firefighter. You're the police. Because this was the
special high five I made for everybody, and I'm a YouTube superstar. Yeah!
And this just sounds like, I say this, it seems like gimmick casting. It sounds like they really didn't want to go out of their way to get regular people and like, hey, meet Kevin Hart, you can win $50,000.
I would be more forgiving to the show if they just did regular casting for this show.
Oh, it's okay. I think one of these is going to be like a Big Brother special, because it's CBS.
God, I need another one of those. I will make it abundantly clear. I hate Big Brother. I hate Big Brother.
I think
if I was able to commit arson on one house, it would be the Big Brother house.
That's quite the house, especially in today's climate. I think Big Brother is
the dumbest thing I've ever heard on a reality show.
Big Brother, I believe, is an okay show, but that's one for another day. I think it's when they do a gimmick of let's bring old reality show people onto different game shows, I just think that's an annoyance because unless you're a diehard fan of these reality shows, you don't know these people at all. But everyone on the on these new game shows expects you to know who they are.
Yeah.
But on TKO, when they do their run, when it's the one person going through the drawbridge and going through the grinder and getting whacked with the dodgeballs, we're supposed to root for them because they're the cool person. They're funny. They're quirky. They're being Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's like, yeah, we're all cheering you on. Good luck. But then when it's someone else's run, I think some contestant coordinators like, you got trash talk the guy, right? You got to throw them off their game. Say something mean to him. Say something mean.
The nurse on the first show was like, oh, I'm this really nice person. I care for everybody. And then when one of her opponents is going through the course, she's all like, how'd you like that eccentric headache, boy?
It's like, holy cow. In no way would I want to respect any of you. I don't want is there a way to root for none of you? Is there a way you can give the money to Kevin Hart instead or an audience member and because when you get those trash talk moments, it's like I don't want to root for any of these people, and I really just I don't want to root for them to fail either. It's just kind of like I assume they want you to oh, you don't like this person? Well, coming up, they're going to get hit in the head with a dodgeball or something.
It befuddles me that the premise is okay, but the execution just ruins everything.
It feels like a show where it would have been better if it was just 4 people doing a quick run, and it was like those old video power days where Monday is this champion, Tuesday is this champion, Wednesday is this champion, Thursday is this champion, and Friday is the big finale with all 4 winners from the previous days. And they stripped it like for a half-hour show. It seems like if made this faster, it would be a lot easier to watch. And then you can do a better rotation of obstacles and rotation. But this feels very cheap. This feels like a show that they really just had 2 days of studio time with, because they only had Kevin Hart for a couple of days before he had to go back on his comedy tour or something.
And it just fails. The show just fails.
And it's not one that is like it was one of those shows where it's hard to find positives, at least to me, because a lot of modern game show tropes are locked in here, like between sob stories, the backstage interview. Oh, I thought my run was great. I hope I win.
And then to what you mentioned on your night show on Twitch.
On night, we watched it, and I was just like in shock of how bad it is. I rewatched it just to make sure I don't know if it's sadistic or just to make sure I missed anything. No, it's still a bad show. The worst thing I hate is when somebody decides, you know what's great? In the middle of the action, let's just cut to commercial. Like when Minute to Win It did it, that's annoying. When Wipeout doesn't even do that. Fear Factor did that. It's this weird annoyance of, oh, they're in the middle of the course, and then something happens. Well, we better cut to commercial. No, you just go with, we'll see how he does when we come back, like American Ninja Warrior.
Right. And also, this TKO does it worse, because American Gladiators, Minute to Win It, did this, but you know what they didn't do? Do it in the middle of a game or a run. They never did it. Minute
to Win It was in the middle of oh, they got 3, one more and they win, cut to commercial. They've done that. American Gladiators, they've never done that. But I would argue Minute to Win It and American Gladiators are better because there's at least variety. You can look at American Gladiators, and 6 minutes in you'll see like the joust, you'll see the big Q-tips, and then like you just say you have to microwave some popcorn, you're getting yourself a hot pocket, you're having all your favorite snacks. You come back and suddenly it's no longer the Q-tips. Now all of a sudden you're seeing, I don't know, the tug of war or the wall. You're seeing something different on Minute to Win It. You see a bouncy ping pong ball game. Then you see like the game with the cookie. On Wipeout, you're going to see someone fall in the water multiple times, but at least like 20 minutes, 30 minutes in, you're going to see a different course.
Right.
And then at the end, it's a night course.
Yeah. And
it's basically the Wipeout zone stretched out for the full hour. It's not even
the Wipeout zone. It's the first course. It's half of the first course, which is about 10 minutes stretched to an hour with 5 contestants. When back then they had 24 contestants.
When you're watching TKO Total Knockout, it's the same course. So 5 minutes in, same damn course. 5 minutes in, same damn course. And I will remind you, Kevin Hart has nothing to say. Kevin Hart no one's feeding him good lines. He can't work his material into the game. All he can do is plug some, like, funny app that he probably co-owns called Laugh Out Loud.
He either will do that, he will say something dumb, like I send the Complete Hacks Guide to Hack Writing for Complete Hacks, or, and my favorite, he'll go, ow! Ow!
Or then he has to read the teleprompter. All right, Chris, that was a great run. You made it in 6 minutes, 17 seconds, but you had 2 penalties. That's 8 minutes, 17 seconds. That puts you in the third place. You've got to protect that $2,500. And you're watching at home and you're going to think, wow, I really want to stay tuned to see if this guy protects his $2,500.
Yeah. All right.
How thrilling.
You want to just get this over with? Letter grade.
I will give it a D minus.
What, in your opinion, prevents it from being a total F?
If they had 6 contestants. Or if they decided to fully rip off Wipeout and like just have the big balls and complete with the score, the sound effect. At least they're trying to do their own thing with this. And I'm guessing they wanted it to be more tower defense than Wipeout. But it just didn't hit the nail on the head with that.
I was tempted to go F, but I think I gotta go D minus as well. Kevin Hart is awful. The set is generic as all hell. I guess the only thing for me that prevents it from being an F is that I did laugh a couple of times at some of Kevin Hart's jokes.
He's good. He's a good comedian when he can do his lines. This should upset a lot of Kevin Hart fans more than I'm seeing.
And the ratings sucked, by the way.
Oh boy, I can't wait for them to just milk it and have like 3 episodes on a Tuesday night.
No, they'll dub it on Saturdays like they did with Candy Crush.
Oh, that's right. In Candy Crush, at least there was some strategy involved. The vertical, horizontal, and then like there was at least like the final round was like, okay, you both go head to head, and whoever beats the Candy Crush thing wins. So at least there was like there's variety on that show too. Even if it's just swiping the slap, it's the match 3. Even if it's a match 3, that show at least had some strategy, even if it was boring to watch.
And this show has the opposite effect. There's no strategy, and it's mildly entertaining. But all of the flaws with it does not make it a good show.
Hey, CBS, here's some suggestions. Power of 10, bring it back. Maybe a primetime Price is Right or primetime Let's Make a Deal. You have those right now in your disposal.
Agreed, but I think it's a matter of Price, the people behind Price, and the people behind Let's Make a Deal not wanting to do it. And plus, I think there's a problem with Wayne, because I think he's got a exclusivity thing when it comes to primetime for not What's My Line, but Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Okay.
There might be a problem with that.
Weird. I never knew that.
They always do something like that when you're hosting or a big part of something on primetime, that you have these exclusivities.
So it's a D minus show. I think it's a one and done. They could do so much better. Hey, Double Dare's on. Go watch that instead.
We gave it an A. We gave that an A.
Give Jessica my best regards.
We love Double Dare.
It's really good. This is the opposite. If there's a way to say opposite.
You're on?
Oh God. God damn you.
Hey,
why is it you get Jessica on for the good show and then you bring me on for the shit one?
I'll bring on for a good one day.
Oh, good. If there ever is going to be.
There will be. Don't worry about that. But what do you expect from a website called Game Show Garbage?
Oscar the Grouch's I Love Trash being played in the background. Ad nauseum. Complete with the Aerosmith. Hey, you gotta love some trash. Do.
No. But I am looking for a new intro, though. I do want to try to make a new Game Show Garbage intro, though.
Well, look forward to that. And hey, if you're a longtime viewer of the show, thanks for sticking with us. And if you're new, stay tuned. There's lots of new stuff coming on the website to come. We hope you enjoy your stay.
And while you're at it, if you enjoyed this show, check out Jordan Haas on the Night Night Show on Twitch. So subscribe to him.
Twitch.tv/Jordan Games.
Twitch.tv/Jordan Games. And also, while you're over there, why don't you come subscribe to me on Twitch at twitch.tv/SigmaFan and watch me ruin my life by playing a whole bunch of Zelda Link to the Past randomizer and a bunch of Mega Man games.